we interrupt this program.
A long time ago, there was this movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it dominated the Oscars in 2022, was it? Which really irritated the life out of me. I thought it was absolutely overhyped and deep-throated to the extreme. I then rewatched it and thought, hey, you know what? It's not that bad, but still didn't think it was sweep-worthy. It had 11 nominations. 2 of them were in the same category, so let's call it 10, and it won 7 of them. I love that the marriage healed in the end and that their family in general was better off by the credits, but in no means
do I personally think this movie is worth all the gawk Film Society gave it.
It's been 3 years and I still carry these scars with me.
Moving forward,
now about 3 weeks ago, A24, you know A24, they put out this bracket for their own little fun film March Madness. I didn't submit one personally, but I made a mental note of all my picks. Flawless brackets win an award, so it made the stakes that much higher. Come with me as we mock up my own picks and why versus what actually happened. It's gonna be a fun, grand time. That was weak. So here we have the bracket, and for the most part I'm going to explain to you what I thought during most of this, but for some other ones I'm going to have to intrude and show you the truth because it impacts the whole bracket afterwards. We got 4 sections: deep horror, high anxiety, emotional drama, big feelings. We're going to start from left bottom, top right to the bottom right, alright? My mic's in the way, but it goes without saying that The Witch goes first because Robert Eggers. There's no other thought behind that. I've seen Talk to Me, but I haven't seen The Witch. But because Robert Eggers is hot, as in he does good work, people are loving the egg, so he's gonna win for The Witch. And same with the bottom one. He did The Lighthouse, so we're gonna say he's gonna win that one too. Heretic, I really loved Heretic, but Eggers is cult fan base. You can't compete with that. Shout out to Paint for making this video happen. Midsommar versus Lamb. It goes without saying that Midsommar is gonna win this. I've only seen both movies once, but Midsommar is an A24 classic and cult fan base. Never mess. Damn, never mess with a cult. Who even likes Lamb? No one talks about Lamb. I thought it was an okay movie. It's pretty fun if you show someone without any context, but no one talks about Lamb. And I'm so sorry, Pearl. I think I like Pearl more than Hereditary. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but again, Hereditary and Midsommar and Uncut Gems, for me, those are the 3 pinnacles of my A24 beginnings. Not only are these A24 movies that are from the beginning, but isn't this Ari Aster's? Yeah, boom. And dude, my mic's in the way. I need to figure this out better. Yeah, he directed both Midsommar and Hereditary. In the fight down here versus Red Rocket and Climax, I've never seen these movies. I've never heard of these movies, but we're gonna go based off one thing. So you see Red Rocket has higher percentages for both critic and audience, but Climax has 1,000 audience versus Red Rocket's 500 ratings versus on their IMDb, Rocket has more at 39,000 ratings versus 85. Wait, what am I doing? Okay, I confused myself. More people saw Climax, even though Red Rocket is better by the ratings here. We're gonna go with the more watched movie. I don't even want to discuss this one. Uncut Gems versus Baby Girl. That's very unfair. Baby Girl just came out, whereas Uncut Gems is a classic. B, it's nerve-wracking. It is high anxiety. And C, Adam Sandler. I saw Civil War. I don't know anything about Ex Machina. My friend said people like it. So because it's an older movie and I don't see a fan base for Civil War, Machina's taking the win. Again, I haven't seen either of these movies, but Good Time is Robert Pattinson, and I know that is a great movie. It's highly rated, right? Editor, me, future me, put up Good Time's rating on the screen. Don't bet against Robert. I mean, most of my thinking here is pretty ape-like. It's just, you know, Knuckles, ooh, ah, ah. So for First Reform versus The Brutalist, we're gonna go off The Brutalist because it won awards. I don't know what First Reformed is. Now the next voting is The Whale versus The Iron Claw, and if we go by my thought process of awards, it should be The Whale, but The Iron Claw has so much emotion that it trumps The Whale's awards. If you know the results of what happened for this whole bracket, Moonlight is the right choice. Spoiler alert. I haven't seen either movie, but Coleman Domingo, he carries Sing Sing, I believe. And based off the Coleman Domingo factor, all that's being voted here, all the thought process behind this vote is just Coleman. The next bracket, Big Feelings, is going to be pretty simple to vote for. Starting with Lady Bird. That is another A24 Hall of Famer. I mean, you would think it could win this whole thing. You would think. Okay. Yeah. 20th Century Woman. What is that? Oh shit, Elle Fanning's in it. Anyway, we're gonna go with 8th grade here, only because it's a coming of age movie, and that's all. You don't have to think too much about these choices. This bracket is not rocket science, and they haven't even announced the freaking winners yet, like what award they get. And for this, Past Lives, easy. It won awards. It was in the Oscar. It was running for the Oscars, was it? Am I lying? Editor will confirm if I'm lying. All right, now excuse me while I pull up what really happened, but I got to crop because this picture is showing the top 8 finalists. How do you crop? Why are there no cropping tools at my disposal here? Looking at deep horror, we got The Witch, Lighthouse, Midsommar, and Hereditary. My deep horror bracket, 1. 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙇, Climax, Uncut Gems, Ex Machina, Good Time. Boom, easy, simple work, bro. We got The Brutalist, Iron Claw, Moonlight, Sing Sing, Lady Bird, EEAAO, 8th grade, and Past Lives. Easy. If you got this wrong, if you failed on the first round, that's crazy. Let's move on to the final 8. Is it 8? Can I count? Let's move on to the final 8. Spoiler alert, I got it wrong here. We're gonna go with Lighthouse here because I said never bet against Robert. Motherfuckers, dude. Hereditary. Hereditary has a strong fan base, and they always talk about how Toni Collette deserved an Oscar, or at least a nomination, for her performance in Hereditary. And I agree, she did a freaking fantastic, amazing job. And I know that movie just, I see more posts about it. I know Midsommar is just as popular, but Hereditary has a chokehold on pop culture. Adam Sandler, 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙇, A24 classic. I don't know if I bet against Robert here. I really forgot what my choice was here, but I'm gonna go off this based off my friends saying people love that movie. Dude, never bet against the people. There's a lot of things you should bet against and maybe they're wrong. The Iron Claw is a phenomenal movie. Brutalist, Adrian Brody, you should not have won that best Oscar. And Zac Efron was cheated out of any awards because A24 promoted the movie down here, Past Lives. I personally said Sing Sing was going to take the cake here, but Moonlight won, and I'm only going to push it forward for this narrative because so I can complain. So I can complain about the future results that Moonlight's win impacts. Fucking movie. I knew it won, what, like Best Picture in 2018 maybe? But I didn't know it had that much fucking clout. This fucking movie, bro. Not even debating that one. And this one, awards carry weight. That's my reasoning. Awards carry weight. Now let's look at the top 8. Starting with deep horror, immediately The Witch overtakes Lighthouse. Why? They are both Robert Eggers movies, but I think Anya Taylor-Joy has a bigger pull than Robert. What are the ratings on these two anyway? I did not look into these stats, so I'm just thinking people just love Anya Taylor-Joy that much that it beat out Robert. Holy shit. 25,000 ratings on The Witch. Even though the average is higher on Lighthouse, bro, 25,000? Lighthouse has 281,000 ratings. The Witch has 330. Yo, guys, if you're watching this and you have the A24 membership, Google which movie has been seen by more people and vote on that. Look at the popular ratings. 559, rank E53. There was no way Lighthouse was gonna win. And Midsommar won. I, for the life of me, cannot diagnose why it won. And I hate to do this as well, but when all logic fails, look at the numbers, right? Because the numbers have not lied. Hereditary has more ratings. Yeah, Hereditary has more ratings. This is bullshit. And it has higher ratings, bro. This shit makes no fucking sense. Popularity of 298 with 416,000 ratings. 445. Okay, it's more. It's slightly more popular. This one was a coin toss. The data shows this is a coin toss, but Hereditary has much more backing power over it, especially with the Toni Collette. Look at this shit. Hold up. Look at this bullshit. How Toni Collette dressed her Oscar snub for. Why wasn't Toni Collette's performance in Hereditary? Blah, blah, blah. Watch Hereditary again, and I'm just baffled that Toni Collette was never nominated for an Oscar. Toni Collette seeing Demi Moore getting Oscar nominated for a horror movie. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. For the 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙎𝑃𝑔, Uncut Gems and 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝑼 made it. I'm so glad I didn't turn against the people for 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝑼, man. The people know what the people want. Bam, next one. Who would have thought? But the Iron Claw won and Moonlight. So bam. Sing Sing, I lost right there again. I had 3 wrong in this round. And EEAAO and Past Lives. Top 4. So because brackets aren't, they don't require that much deep thinking. I said Hereditary was going to go forward, but in this case, Midsommar is my vote. Okay? And over here, I said the Iron Claw. I said the Iron Claw. Uncut Gems, 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝙄𝑼. I believe I said Uncut Gems. At a certain point, you got to drop the for the people, and you got to go with your gut, bro. And Uncut Gems win this shit. Of course, it's godforsaken movie, you know? It's... Listen, if you didn't put Everything Everywhere All at Once as your winner, never mind, because I didn't put it as my winner. Final 4. Do I have a photo of the Final 4? Yes, I do. Perfect. Here we go. Oh shit, I gotta blur this. Alright, so I said Midsommar versus the Iron Claw. Survey says Midsommar versus Moonlight. What the fuck is Moonlight? I don't even want to look into it. I'm not even gonna try to reason or find a logical explanation for this besides 98 is crazy. But Iron Claw has a higher average. What are we? 25,000 ratings, 1,000 ratings. Okay. And for the bottom, we got Uncut Gems and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Same thing that I said. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go to the top 2. So while Moonlight won against Iron Claw, it wouldn't make sense to put Moonlight in here because this is fucking society's favorite movie. And then versus Midsommar and I had Hereditary here, so we're just gonna go with the backup, the cult classic Midsommar. And is that what happened? Yes, Midsommar versus Everything Everywhere All at Once. My final pick was Hereditary versus Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was smart enough to give it that much hype. Everything Everywhere All at Once, I gave it the clout it needed to get to the final 2. But I could have sworn Hereditary was A24's darling, its sweetheart, its magnum opus. But can we zoom out? Everything Everywhere All at Once won. Which is why my fucking beef is back. I didn't think I'd ever talk about this movie ever again. I actually adore the people behind everything. I love seeing Michelle Yeoh, Ke Huy Quan, and Jamie Lee Curtis appear anywhere. I think Stephanie Hsu should have won supporting actress, and I think the Daniels are pretty cool being quirky guys and not your typical auteur. Look at me, man. My cinematography's so fucking awesome. I got film grain everywhere. But this movie pisses me off. And of course it had to win. We all saw it coming. I can only look forward to A24 switching up some movies around because they have the catalog for it, and it'll be interesting to see what they can stir up without the grand sweeper that is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This was an absolute quick fun video to make, but subscribe if you want to hear some more movie chatter. The next one I'm putting out is about a streetcar named Desire. I just finished the script and yo, it's going to be so beautiful. Love what you like, protect your energy, and Old MacDonald had a farm, EEAAO.
I do, yeah, yeah.